They say games are played on the field and not on paper, and that's a good thing. Because if this one were played on paper, it might get ugly. But you never know what's going to happen. Northwestern ready to kick it off to get things started. On the run from inside his own 5. Able to find enough room to get it out across the 25. He's brought down at the 26. So USC's offense comes onto the field first today. And what a performance, an aerial show from this guy in the last game, and he has to have a ton of confidence coming into this one, David.
Yeah, it was a great week. And watching that tape before this game, like you could tell, man, he was seeing it quick. The ball was coming out, just touchdowns at will. A really nice day. And I think, Jesse, you take that and you start to build on it for this offense and really continue to trust him to make plays through the air.
Yeah, that's a good point. I think he really earned his offensive coordinator's trust after that performance. So I'm anticipating the playbook to expand a little bit in this game. Maybe see some new schemes in the pass game just based on what this guy was able to do the last time he took the field.
Behind the chains now on 2nd and long. From the gun, the running back has it. And it'll be a pickup of 9. They're facing a 3rd and 1. And the Trojans come to the line in the hurry up. Looking to throw for it. A shot toward the end zone. And a missed opportunity on 3rd down as the defense knocks it free, and 4th down is coming up. It's 4th down, and they can make the field goal from here, but it looks as if they're going to leave the offense out there. Hauls it in, the 1st down and more. And they reacted well to the completion, but it was too late to keep them from getting the 1st down.
Well, it's a heck with being conservative, right? I mean, that essentially would have just been a 2-shot field.
And the defense, got him at the 27. The Trojans with a long way to go after the loss on the last play.
And the defense gets a sack, and that's going to be the big determining factor in this football game. A week ago, he only got sacked 1 time. They've already got him on the ground. If they want to win this football game, they got to keep getting after the quarterback.
Trying to move the sticks on 3rd down through the air. Turning it on! And out of bounds right at the 12-yard line. And the Trojans have it with a 1st and 10. Use the play fake, now to throw. Touchdown, Southern Cal! Grabbed in the end zone to put 6 on the board.
Well, you know this offensive coordinator scripts his opening 10, 15 plays, and he didn't even need that. They went 9 plays and scored a touchdown. Everything working perfectly. They look like a well-oiled machine early in this game offensively.
Set sail out of the end zone. Not a whole lot of room to operate on that return as the coverage unit was there and ready. So Northwestern's offense headed onto the field. Our first look at them today. Guys, if you listen closely, I think you can hear the jawing going already between this quarterback and wide receiver. What a matchup, Jesse. It's going to be between those two.
You know, so many people have already been talking about this individual one-on-one matchup, David, and it's going to be happening out on an island all game long. The receiver's got speed, he's got game-breaking ability, catching the football, can climb the ladder. He's going up against one of the best shutdown corners in the game. I cannot wait to watch this.
Yeah, and he's got the speed to stay with him and the instincts, and he's been so great out wide in every game. This is a huge test. This is a Sunday test. 2 NFL guys going at it to see who's going to take home the prize.
Quarterback on the keeper. Sweet cut there. Tackle is made at the 44, but he picked up 10 yards and enough for a 1st down.
And that's a nice job by this QB. Great job. You show patience, right? Like, if they don't come take me, I'm going to keep running. That's how I go pick up another 1st down, move the sticks, and this offense can keep showing.
From the gun, running back gets to give. That is a big win for this defense as they were right there as soon as he got the ball. This crowd, full throat, spreading the eardrums and letting them. Always a welcome play for the defense as they get a sack at the 47. Now a lot of work to do to move the chains, keep this drive alive after that earlier sack. Fires to the big fella. Didn't pick up a lot there. Moved it forward just a few. Northwestern will send out the punt team. First punt of the day, and he'd love to lock them up close to their goal line. Going to make sure he doesn't get a return on this one as the punt bounces out of bounds. And guys, USC has the ball back and sending the offense onto the field. Already a solid start to this one. Now back to work with this 7-0 lead. He's got his man. And maybe he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that. All right, guys, let's think big picture USC. At this point in the season, you're probably in if the playoffs starts today, but it doesn't. A long way to go, and the margins will be extra thin from here on out.
No, because if the season ended today, you're basically right on the cusp outside of the top 5, so you need to keep winning. You need to keep the intensity up, playing with a sense of urgency for the second half of the season, David. I think that's a massive key for this team.
And it's so hard with it's 17, 18, 19, 20 years old to get them to continue to focus on the game in and game out. Not the rankings, not down the road. That'll be the challenge down the stretch.
Offense calls a timeout here. Critically important to make sure they have the right play called and everyone on the same page here. Quarterback may change this route. On third down, he drops to throw. Rush coming in hot, and they got him at the 29. The Trojans send out the punt unit. 3 and out, they got stuck in reverse. They hope the punt can bail them out. First one of the day is off. He was called on 3 times in that victory last week. The Wildcats have it back. The Northwestern offense headed out. Finding themselves down 7-0. They'd love to get a drive going here. He wants to start this drive with a pass. Floats it out in space. Finds enough room to get it up to the 44 before he's knocked out of bounds.
Well, it's a great job by the quarterback there, understanding you're being blitzed. You know you're not going to be able to hold on to it very long, so find the back. Get it into his hands quickly. Let him go pick up the first.
Fired just a little too long as the junior frustrated. He missed that connection.
Well, the good news is he did a nice job reading the coverage. He knew exactly where to go with the football that time. Just a little bit too much on that pass. You wonder if that's just nerves. He's got to settle himself down a little.
Now they're starting to feel it. They've got a first down at the 44.
And that RPO play was run to perfection. The run fake forced and sucked the defense up, and a nice job on the route by the receiver, not telegraphing that he was breaking to the inside on the slant.
Stop behind the line. He'll lose a yard. Lost 1 on that last one. It's 2nd and 11. Back to pass. On the run, fires downfield. And that one falls incomplete, trying to get a choke play on that one. Here comes this home crowd as the defense tries to get off the field on third down. From the gun, wants to pass. Pressure is effective from the defense. They knock him down just behind the midfield stripe at the 48. Northwestern will have to punt it away. Not going to get a chance to field that one, and the punt will bounce out of bounds. They'll get things started on this drive from the 24. Off the play fake on first down to throw. Quickly to the tight end. A 7-yard pickup. It'll be 2nd and 3. And the Trojans want to move quickly.
Nice quick throw there. It's so important for quarterbacks to be able to find them.
They get enough rush, and it pays off. The sack at the 20. Now a lot of work to do to move the chains, keep this drive alive after that earlier sack. Rush is on him. That pass not close as he got drilled trying to deliver it, and it'll bring up 4th down. Looks as if we have an injury on that last play, and we'll take a break to check him out. The Trojans will punt this one away. This will be the 2nd time they've had to kick it away. This punt will be down just inside the 40-yard line. First play of the drive comes from the 38. Wants to back on the option to give. And the defense holds firm. No pickup at all on that play. Didn't get much on first down. It's 2nd and 9. Looking to fire. Makes a grab over the middle. And good coverage by the defense, just a short gain. They'll come to the line at the 42, facing a 3rd and long. From the gun, wants to pass. Under pressure, and down he goes at the 33. Northwestern will send out the punt team. 3 and out, and not much choice but to get rid of the ball. Good job by the coverage team, and that's how we'll end the period. As we head to the quarter break, it is USC holding the lead. And we've come to the end of one, and let's take a quick moment to catch up on the stats. Now to see if these guys can get back in the game in the second quarter. So first down here as they go back to work. They'll run the RPO and fire to the right. He is going nowhere. Stop at the line of scrimmage. Try to make up for some of that lost ground on 2nd down. Wants to go up top. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact on the play, but no flags. It'll be 3rd down.
We know about this running back's versatility, and he's made some plays in this game so far, catching the ball. That time, though, he had no shot. Defender bearing down on him. They're able to get the hit and make sure.
Wide open spaces. All the way down to the 27-yard line before they get him out of bounds, and this offense is threatening. The offense changing the play. They just keep firing. Looking left. And it's incomplete. If you're going to take a hit like that, you might as well hang on to the ball. They're dealing with a 2nd and long. The give on the inside. How about picking up tough yards like that as he gets to the 22? And the Trojans in the hurry up. He'll set up to throw. Gets it to him on the screen. He gets it all the way down inside the 10. It'll be 1st and goal from the 8. The Trojans have their offense in high gear. Snap in the shotgun. Touchdown Trojans! Quick strike through the air for the score.
One of the areas they really focused on with this receiver in the offseason was we need you to make more plays for us in the end zone. When we're taking shots, we need you to be able to step up and make tough catches. And David, what a grab right there.
And I think a lot of that has to do with trusting your guy, knowing where he's going to be, knowing when he's going to sit down, when he's not, so being on the same page, and then having a guy that can go get it. Just when the ball is near him, he's going to make the play, just like he did right there for 6 points.
The give to the back. And he was fortunate not to lose yardage on that play, able to wedge it back to the line of scrimmage. Didn't get much on first down. It's 2nd and 9. Wide receiver comes in motion. Back to pass on 2nd down. Incomplete thanks to the great defensive pressure there that sort of threw them out of rhythm. The roar of the crowd trying to fuel this defense to keep them pinned in their own end. On 3rd and long, trying to have a big completion here.
Well, I think one of the biggest reasons why this team is finding themselves in the hole here in the first half is this has been a sack party. They can't keep the defense off of their quarterback. They haven't been able to get the ball deep down the field, throwing it with the consistency they want because they can't keep their quarterback standing up straight.
And the coverage team able to wrestle him down. This Trojan offense is ready to go back to work. They've already put a couple of scores up, and they look to add to it on this drive. Wants to throw on first down. And he was hit just as he released it, and it falls to the turf.
A good job by this defense. Great job in the secondary. Eyes on the quarterback. They took away the first option, made him go to option 2, made him go through his progression, and then they got time to get home and get a hit on the quarterback.
Good quickness to grab it off the bounce. Makes the grab and knock down, and he's got it at the 25-yard line. Ticks down, under 4 minutes to go in the half. From the gun, they'll try to impose their will. Tough run gets it into the red zone, and they knock him down at the 17.
Man, is it nice to be able to hand the football to a guy that can break tackles, that can make something out of nothing. Just, it makes it so much easier.
I have a question for you.
That.
Do you know, was that shed there when you got there?
Yep.
Do you know who built it?
Not sure.
Okay.
I know the owner. I know the past owner.
I mean, it looks great. But the issue is going to be, so your roof, the metal roof is supposed to go vertical, and it actually goes horizontal. Like when you get home, you can check out your roof. It goes.
Yeah, somebody told me that. I actually researched that too. I researched that and tried to find out a little bit more information about it. And I was told something along the lines of it could technically be done both ways. One is just more for visual appeal versus the other is for whatever. But for areas that rain heavy, it's better for it to be vertically pitched versus horizontally.
Right, because
apparently the horizontal makes it look more aesthetically pleasing or something and more modern, but it changes the way the water runs off of it.
Exactly. So that water is going to go left to right instead of up and down. So gutters really aren't going to do anything for you.
Wow. Okay. Now, what do you propose if they built it and they put it on there wrong? I mean, is that such thing as saying that they did that wrong?
Yes.
And they need to come back out there and redo it?
That's where I would be headed. Because I don't want you to feel like you're sitting out, because getting a new roof put on is expensive. And that's not something that I feel like you should have to do right now, especially if it's something that you can kind of live through. It is possible.
Yeah, but see, I'm worried about that. I'm worried about that concrete pad being eroded due to the water.
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of have to urgently move on that pretty fast. But I don't know why they would have done that.
Your answer is as good as mine. I have no idea. We are a roofing company, and honestly, it's the first time I've ever seen it.
Wow. Okay. Well, I'm gonna call. Guess I can call the past owner and see if maybe he can give me some information about that.
Yeah.
Maybe see what they said.
Mm-hmm. I would do that and try to find out who built it. See if there's any way that you could somehow.
Yeah, I think that thing's been there for at least. He probably built that probably a year before. Maybe not a year. Maybe not even that long before I got there.
Yeah, maybe there's some type of.
At least 10 months myself, but I mean, surely those things come with some warranties, right?
That's what I was thinking. Hopefully, there's some type of warranty on it. And the only other thing is, I didn't want to get up there without you there, measuring it out to just see if those metal panels fit both vertically and horizontally. I would be surprised if they do, but in some cases they do, and they could have just put them on wrong.
I'm gonna contact him and see what we can do about that.
Perfect. Yeah. Hey, if you have any questions, just feel free to call me anytime. I'm here to help you.
Thank you, Camden.
Yeah, of course, brother. Bye.
The big home run, just the ability to break tackles can make a back really special.
It's complete on the right side. They'll get it down to the 8-yard line on that throw and catch, and the defense is backed up against the wall. the play fake on first down to throw. Caught in the backfield, it's Carroll.
You know, as a quarterback, you believe in your matchup. And then my running back, if I can get him the ball in space, he's going to win a lot of times. He didn't that time. The defense was ready. Nice job in the open field making the nice tackle.
Fakes the grab on the left. They get it down to the 7 on that pass play in prime position for a score. Wants to throw for it on 3rd and goal. And he'll race it to the house. Touchdown, Trojans. They've got the lead and trying to put this one in a hammerlock here in Week 10.
You always want to get the home crowd jacked up and get them excited. Get out to an early lead, and they have 20-0. Defense playing well, offense playing well. They got a lot to cheer about here at home.
Fielded in the end zone, it's Ruiz. Good job by the coverage unit to stop the return man. The Northwestern offense returns to the field. They're down by 21 points. When you get a touchdown here, you do at least apply a little game pressure, Jesse.
It's true. I think for them to get back in this one at this point now, they need the quarterback to play his best football. He's going to have to be good really pre-snap. They've been making sure they're in the right looks, and he's got to be really good with his decision.
He's got to be dialed in because defensively you're giving up points. So it's not like you have the luxury of defense playing great. The offense is going to have to score and score pretty dang quickly.
Gives it to the back on the draw. Navigates that mass of bodies and gets 4 out to the 17. 4 punts already, and they've got to convert here to avoid a 5th. On 3rd down, he'll try to pick it up through the air. Snagged in the middle. It's coming. They'll make the stop about a yard short of the first down. Northwestern will have to punt it away. This will be the 5th kick of the night. He'll field the punt and take it back. Down to 2 minutes before the half, and they'll take the timeout and see if they can add a little more before the break. Plenty of time to work, not any time to waste as they take over here in the final 2 minutes of the half. Finds his man, it's Akbar. And they explode on that one, and they've got it down to the 22.
Yeah, when you get that man coverage, most people are taught to have inside leverage. So that out route's there if your QB can put some air on it and throw it outside of the guy. But tight coverage, but a really nice throw on that out route.
The give to the running back from the shotgun.
Yeah, and listen, offensively, you run the RPO, you just want positive yards, make the right read the guy. If he wants to drop back a little bit, hand it off, get some positive yards, go on to the next play.
He stopped just short of the goal line at the 1. An explosive play has him set up. We got a timeout here late in the first half, and they'll try to get more points on the board before the break. This quarterback part of their running game. And he runs it in for the score. Touchdown, USC.
And this crowd was already jacked up. They were already excited. They were already making a difference in this football game, and the offense continues to pile on and give them something to cheer about. 27-0 here in the first half. This has been all home team.
And the returner goes down. Wildcats have it back. The Northwestern offense headed out. These guys have taken some body blows in the first half, but now a chance to do something to feel a little better going into halftime.
Reese, they got to respond now.
And the sack all the way back at the 5.
Boy, this defense is ridiculous. On point. They know how to rush the passers. Multiple guys getting it done. 5 sacks, and we are still in the first half.
Caught over the middle. It's Pryor. The offense wastes no time getting the timeout called. So an example of a tight end doing a little unheralded work to set up a much better third down situation.
And I like the QB here, Reese. I like the decision where I understand, let's get this football out, let's get some positive yards, and then get to third down, and we can still...
Fires one high and deep. Snags it down the right side. And the tackle is made, but not before. That completion gets them 30+. To the air on first down. Pulls it in. Ripping through the defense. And he slipped through the crowd, and he'll house it. Touchdown, Wildcats.
Let's just call it like it is. The first half has been ugly for this offense. Not a lot to cheer about until that play right there. They finally score. We've seen crazy things happen in college football. They're way down on the scoreboard right now, but anything can happen, and anything can change after you score like that.
From inside his own 10, he'll try to help out their field position. He was hoping for something a little more dynamic, but they get him on the ground at the 20. They'll get a chance to work on that hurry-up offense here in the final minute of the first half. Unleashes it on the run. Makes the grab on the right. Just gashing this defense. A big gainer to the 40-yard line. One big play, you go from a little backed up to threatening. It's 1st and 10 from the 40. Well, the quarterback can make a big play when he starts moving around. He's got it. He's forced out of bounds inside the 5 and the 4, and they save the touchdown, at least for now. Just a few seconds remaining here as they try to put something up before halftime. Fires into the end zone. Touchdown, Southern Cal. Quick strike through the air for the score.
Man, what great offensive execution. You talk about addressing a 2-minute situation and using almost all of the clock, adding to your lead and creating more momentum going into the half. Great execution by this offense.
Here he comes from inside his own 5. And the returner is stopped. Enough time to get off a play before we head to halftime. They'll run it on the counter. Shut down in the backfield again, and that might do it here in the half. And what a way for this defense to wind up the quarter. That's going to wrap up the first half here, and now we join Kevin with the halftime update.
Guys, looks like we've had a compelling start to things there in Los Angeles. And it's clear, the aerial attacks of both teams have been relentless. They've been burning each of these secondaries like toast. Just an assault on the defensive game plans, if there even were defensive game plans. Gotta think, fellas, based on the first 2 quarters, we're going to see every route in the route tree again in this second half. With that said, let's send it back to the guys at the LA Coliseum.
Thanks for that breakdown, Kevin. And the Trojans will kick it away first, and we'll start the second half. Returner will field it and try to get some field position. And they'll get him on the ground as the offense comes out to start the next drive. The Northwestern offense returns to the field. Huge deficit to start this third quarter. They just need to find something to build a little confidence.
Yeah, it hasn't gone well. When you're trailing by this much, this first drive, man, does everything matter and hinge on this? Because every possession in the second half is going to be critical.
Yeah, and I think if you're on offense, why hold back? What are you worried about? Nothing went well in the first half for you, and at this point, trailing by as much as you are, throw caution to the...
There he goes. Great move. Now he's got room. They finally make the stop, and it's been this way this guy's whole career as a senior makes a play after the grab. Gets the back moving. He's picked off, and he's thrown a dozen of them. He's into the open down the middle. Touchdown, Trojans! And what a turn of events as this defense gets the pick 6.
I'll tell you what, as a DB, you're lucky if you get 1 pick 6 in your entire football life. This guy had one last game. He's got one this game. Quarterbacks are going to stop throwing his way.
Fielded in the end zone. It's Ruiz. He was looking for some running room, but not much to be found as he stopped at the 18. Wildcats have it back to Northwestern offense headed out. The big thing now, don't get rattled by that last pick six, David.
Nah, it was a big mistake. Obviously, the defense took advantage of it, but you got to put it behind you. Jesse, I'm sure you know a thing or two about throwing a pick six and how to rebound.
I believe I've only thrown one in my life, but yes, I do because of that singular instance. I'll say this. You can't let that play beat you twice.
And they get to the quarterback and knock him down back in the 16. Now a lot of work to do to move the chains, keep this drive alive after that earlier sack. Third and long, and he'll try to throw for it. And this defense is bringing the heat. Another sack.
And everybody in the stadium knew that was going to be a pass, right, guys? I mean, it's third down. You're trailing by so many points right now, and the defense is just smelling blood in the water. They're like sharks out there right now, getting after the quarterback. They've been doing that all game, by the way, and that's a trend that looks like it's just simply going to continue.
And the punt team able to sling him to the ground. And guys, USC has the ball back and sending the offense onto the field. They reeled off a long touchdown drive the last time they had it. Much better field position this time around. Got rid of it just in time. Just couldn't find an open man. He'll get rid of it, and it'll be second down. Couldn't make the connection last time. Let's see if they throw it again. Pressure coming. He'll get rid of it. Finds a man in the middle. They finally get him on the ground, but he's got an explosive play for the first down.
Well, this defense is going to have to find a way to start mixing up their coverages. They're in a tough spot. They're down.
Nowhere to go, and the ball is loose. Defense falls on the ball. Going to be a turnover. And the Wildcats with a golden opportunity, but the key to the drill is turn it into points. They'll give it to the back. He gets nothing, and they're staying stubborn with this running game, but at some point you're going to have to change your thought process. They got nothing on the last play. It's 2nd and 10. Back to pass. Trying to set up the screen. And he'll pick up the first down, but he got drilled on that tackle. The offense getting set for a first down from the 45. Wants to go up top on first down. Hauls it in. They stop him almost immediately. Short gain there, and still a little ground cover to pick up the first. And the Wildcats can really attack on this 2nd and short. Looking to fire. Catch in the middle. It's Pryor. He's close to the first down, but they're going to mark him just a little short. How aggressive might this play call be on 3rd and short from the 46? Trying to pick it up on the ground. He breaks the tackle. They get him on the ground, but they'll move the chains. First down, Northwestern. Man down on the play as the officials take a break to let him be checked out. Now they've got it at the 44 on 1st and 10. Catch in the middle. It's Cummings. Nice gain on that play, but leaves it a little short of the first down. The Wildcats with a 2nd and short to keep this drive moving. He's got it on the right. Plows through the defense. He'll be pushed out of bounds at about the 33-yard line. The Wildcats kept this drive moving on the ground. Now back to work. Leaves it with the back. He's stopped in the backfield again, and this just hasn't been his night. It's been more like a nightmare. And the Wildcats now with a long way to go to pick up the first down. Wants to fire on 2nd down. Just can't pull the trigger, and the quarterback is sacked at the 41. Now a lot of work to do to move the chains, keep this drive alive after that earlier sack.
Man, this poor quarterback, he's got no time. You got to protect your quarterback. You got to find different ways to do it. Sometimes it's not working with 4 wide receivers. Maybe you bring in a couple tight ends, go max protection, more guys blocking, less guys in route. But you got to find something to have success.
Kick is in the air. Able to keep them from getting a return, and the ball goes out of bounds. They're going to mark it right around the 20. This Trojan offense is ready to go back to work. That fumble in plus territory just ruined that last drive, David.
Yeah, and those are frustrating when you got the offense moving a little bit and you put that thing on the deck, Jesse. But move on, reload, forget about it.
At the end of the day, it's just fundamental football, right? They practice it all week. 5 points of pressure. Every ball carrier has to have it. They just got to do a better job moving forward.
Looking to the big tight end. And it's incomplete, but there's a flag in the backfield. Let's see who the call's on. That penalty moves the ball back 10 yards. We'll replay the down. Here comes the offense on second down. Wants to go up top. Throws to the back. And the pass is incomplete, jarred loose by the hit. Not exactly the ideal situation for this offense. 3rd and long, back up inside their 20. He's looking downfield to throw. Unloads to the wideout. And they won't be able to connect downfield, looking for a big-time play. The Trojans will try to pin them back with the punt. Doesn't say much for your drive when you're looking forward to the punt. He only needs a sliver of daylight. Good job by the coverage unit to put a stop to that return. First snap of this drive will come from the 46. Incomplete. He had to get rid of it before he wanted to. The defense put the heat on. So now it's 2nd and long.
This is a situation here in the 3rd quarter this offense did not want to be in, facing a top 10 defense, one of the best units in the entire country. They didn't want to get down on the scoreboard like this, and all of a sudden have to throw the football when the defense knew that was going to happen. The incompletion there is not a big surprise. This defense knows what's coming, and it's all because...
Oh, he's got some space. He's finally stopped, and not before he takes it into the red zone. They'll mark it at the 18. Northwestern comes to the line with a fresh set of downs. Quarterback will keep it. He's wrestled to the ground right at the 15-yard line, and a big red zone opportunity here. Backed up now. Here's 2nd and long. Back to pass. Pocket breaking down. And the ball comes out. What a disastrous play. Once that ball was loose, offense didn't have a chance. Defenders everywhere. It's a turnover. He'll do it himself. Stopped in the backfield. He's going to lose 3 yards on the play. And the Trojans want to pick up the tempo.
Phenomenal job by the defense that time, shutting down the option play. They knew they were going to see this in this game, and all week long in practice, they really focused on this. Assignment football, making sure the dive, the quarterback, the pitch, all taken away. Nowhere to go with the football that time offensively. The defense coming up with a huge negative play.
He fires to the left side. And that one's incomplete. They weren't just trying to move the chains. They were trying to move the scoreboard. Instead, it's 4th down. The Trojans will bring the punt team onto the field. He's getting a lot of work. 4th time he's punted tonight. They'll put it in play from the 36 for the first play of the drive. They'll start this drive going to the air. Makes the grab. It's Klein. Stopped at the 47 after a 10-yard gain. The offense will put it in play from the 47 on 1st and 10. Looking downfield on 1st down. Using the quick game. Dragged down at the 43, but they've got it in enemy territory. They picked up 10 and give him a 1st down. As they get set to snap it, time winding down here in the quarter. The give to the left. Defense is there to greet him again, and they are ready, and he has found nowhere to run tonight. That's the end of the period, and USC has the lead. Let's take a quick look at the national rankings to see how this playoff race is shaping up. So will the beatdown continue, or is this a comeback for the ages in store? We'll see as we start the 4th. They had a chance to mull things over. Let's see how they start the final period here on second down. Looking to fire. Quickly complete. And a good job in coverage there as they stop it after just a few.
This offense has their work cut out for them, man, because the coverage has been so tight. And if you're not throwing to the sideline or you're not getting past the sticks, this defense is going to tackle you inbounds like they just did on that last play to lead the clock.
Northwestern will... The punt team. He's going to try to flip the field with this one. And they'll let that one go, and it'll roll out of bounds. And guys, USC has the ball back and sending... It's onto the field. They went 3 and out last time. Now they'll look for some plays that work. And he is just engulfed at the line by this giant defensive tackle. Didn't get much on first down. It's 2nd and 9. Out of the gun, they'll run it inside. Defense closed down quickly after a gain of 3. They'll mark it at the 32. On 3rd and long, he has to throw for it. It's complete to the left. Makes the grab, and it's enough for the first down before he's dragged to the ground. And the Trojans headed quickly to the line.
Well, the defense makes the tackle. They give up the first down. They've now got to communicate the next play call. They can't substitute because the offense is going fast.
He'll go out of bounds at the 35-yard line. Big pickup there, and this offense is feeling it. The Trojans are marching down the field. Looking to throw on first down. Under fire. Hit hard as he released the ball on that first down pass, and it never had a chance. Plenty of work to do here on 2nd and long. From the gun, they'll try to impose their running game.
And here's the mindset if you're on offense. 4th quarter, you've got a huge lead. Obviously, you're going to run the football, but just be aware of the clock. You don't want to snap it too quickly. You're probably just doing safe runs inside the tackles like you saw right there. You just got to execute. You got to be aware, but you've got this game in hand so long as you don't turn it over.
And the offense got themselves in a tough situation. 3rd and long, so hard to execute, especially when the field starts to shrink. But the good news is they got a field goal in their back pocket.
And it's no good. They blow the field goal. Something finally goes wrong. The Northwestern offense returns to the field. That last drive won't go on the highlight reel after ending in a punt. They'd like to be more productive this time, David.
And I think this offense has to be a little bit more balanced. Find a little balance between the run, Jesse, and working in that pass.
And I think, too, David, it's just going to take a spark. It just takes one play to get this thing picked up and going.
2nd down, they'll go to the air. Here comes the heat. Quarterback feeling the pressure, and down he goes at the 22. Now a lot of work to do to move the chains, keep this drive alive after that earlier sack. On 3rd and long, he'll need to push it downfield. And he feels the heat coming, and it burns him up. Another sack. Northwestern will have to punt it away. 3 and out, they got stuck in reverse. They hope the punt can bail them out. Fields the punt and tries to work it the other way. He's brought down, but really solid effort to pick up every bit of yardage he could on the punt return. This Trojan offense is ready to go back to work. They'll keep it on the ground, trying to milk the clock. And this one will be stopped for no gain. Didn't get much on first down. It's 2nd and 9. Handoff from the gun. They'll knock him down for a loss of a couple.
It's going to be tough sledding for the offense here. They're trying to ice this game by running the football and bleeding the clock. They've got a pretty good lead here late in the game, but the defense knows the run's coming, right? So they're going to be loading the line of scrimmage, getting stops like what they just did. Be interesting to see what the offense does on this next one.
On on 3rd and long. He's going to have to throw for it. Deep shot for the end zone. And give him another 6. Grabs it for a touchdown, and the blowout continues.
What can you say about this offense in this game? It hasn't always been pretty all season long, yet they've continually found ways to win each and every week. But today, in a day where they had to light the scoreboard up because the opposing offense came to play, their offense got it done. And as a result, they stay undefeated.
Didn't find any crease in that kickoff coverage, and he'll be stopped at the 17. Wildcats have it back to Northwestern offense headed out. They didn't get much done the last time they had it. Had to punt it away from deep in their own territory, hoping this drive will be... And that defense gets to him, and down he goes at the 9.
And it's simply been that kind of day for this offense. They've had so many struggles, and at this point in the 4th quarter, you're trailing by a ton of points. The defense knows you're throwing it, and they're pinning their ears back, and they're getting after it, as you saw it on that sack there.
Now 3rd and long, and trying to play catch-up in more ways than one after that earlier sack. They'll leave it with him. You just can't go backwards there. He did, and they swarmed him for a safety.
Oh, and how about this defense? Understanding where they are in the field. They got a chance to put points on the board, and they do.
Looking to throw on 1st down. Quarterback moving. Makes the grab. It's Amato. Breaks into the open. Big pickup on that one. They'll mark him out at the 40. And the Trojans want to crank the tempo.
A nice passing game by this offense. The quarterback and the receiver on the same page, in time, in rhythm, creates the big play. And look at him.
Hits the afterburners. And he'll be run out of bounds, and these guys are piling up some serious yardage totals. Quarterback making checks. From the red zone, he's going to throw it. Going for 6. He was open, he had it, and he dropped it. Would have been a touchdown. Instead, it's 2nd down. Working well behind the sticks on 2nd down. From the gun, the running back looking for room. And we have breaking news. They score yet another touchdown.
With that last touchdown, they remain undefeated. And what can you say about this offense? One of the most explosive in the entire nation. And they're coming in, I think, every week with the mindset that we're just going to outscore everybody. We are okay going into a track meet. And that's really what we saw in this game today. But opponents just cannot keep pace with them and all of the athletes they have on the offensive side of the ball.
We'll see what they can do on this drive that starts at the 16-yard line. Leaves it with the back. Oh, he's got a chance. Building momentum, picking up a chunk of yardage, moving the chains out to the 34. Line gets set, 1st down. They go to the draw. Stopped in the backfield. He's going to lose 3 yards on the play.
Yeah, this offense, man, it's been a struggle bus. And they haven't clicked yet. They haven't found what they're really, really good at. And I'll tell you this, it's later in the 4th quarter, later in the game, obviously.
Turning it on! And an explosive play has him on the move, and he gets it all the way to the 48-yard line. Northwestern ready to dial one up on 1st down. Out of the shotgun, they go to the ground. Defense scoops it up, and he's headed the other way. He almost popped out of there for a huge return, but they will take it. They are in business after the fumble recovery. See if they can turn this drive into points. They've got it 1st and 10 at the 50. He lets it fly. Finds a crease at the 20. A huge chunk play as he gets it all the way down to the 11. They've got him wobbling after that big play now to pay it off on 1st and 10 from inside the 15. He's going to lose a yard on that one. 2nd down coming up on this red zone opportunity. They'll run the option. He'll toss it. Got enough space. And they're going to one into the end zone as they just keep piling points on the scoreboard.
Points, points, and more points. This offense has had their way. They just keep their foot on the gas, keep putting up points, keep putting up touchdowns. And you know what? This is one of those stats days. You look back and you're like, that guy had 12 touchdowns on the year. Well, 4 or 5 of them might have been in this game.
From a couple of yards deep, he'll bring it out. And the returner will be knocked down. His drive will open from the 15. They'll test the right side. Makes a stop in the backfield. He'll lose 4.
Well, that last play is basically a microcosm of what today has been like for this offense. Just nothing happening. Not physical enough at the point of attack. They're being swarmed. They haven't had the balance necessary to win this game, and that's why they find themselves trailing late.
Nowhere close on that one as he got drilled trying to deliver the football, and now they face third down. Looking to throw, and he needs a chunk play. Intercepted, and the defense has set him up. Picked up a few extra on that return, but what a play by this defense to get the football. Couldn't ask for better starting field position for this offense. Going over the top. Oh, he dropped it. That deep ball was right on the money. You just have to make that catch.
And that's a good stop for this defense. And listen, there hasn't been a lot of positive today, but let's finish this game strong. I think that'll be the message from the defensive coordinator. Can we get a stop? Can we get them off the field? I know a lot's went wrong, but let's live in this moment and try to be great.
Going to the end zone. It's picked off.
And this QB's put up a lot of numbers today and had a lot of success, but man, he makes his first mistake. And this defense, they finally capitalize. They get the big turnover and stop.
Yeah, they needed something to go their way finally against the pass, and they get it right there. Now, if you're this quarterback, you got to turn the page quickly. Obviously, they're not going to stop.
Brings it down on the right side. And he's down at the 41. That's a first down. This is what an elite team does. They know they're better. They go out. They take the figurative sledgehammer and hit them right between the eyes.
And they just look good in every phase of the game. If I'm on the coaching staff, I don't know what you could ask for your guys to do better. I think the challenge now for this team is going out next week and trying to play with the same type of intensity and the same level of execution.
Well, Jesse, it's easy to look good on the field when you look that good in your unit. Like when you look that good coming off the bus. Those dudes are good. This is a great team, and they proved it. Just domination from start to finish.
Thanks so much for spending some...